Harley and Annabelle and so many other people on the road is that they had become friends with the people at Pixar. In fact, a lot of them went to the opening of Cars when it opened up in the East Coast. And they helped Pixar bring their film to life, and they invited us into that same circle of honor. And to us, that really gave us an even greater responsibility to really accurately reproduce just the friendly and the proud spirit of the Mother Road.
So, I know we're scheduled to walk the site in a couple of weeks, and that'll be great, but can you give us a little update on the construction?
Yeah, in fact, if you've been inside the park recently, Don could tell you that we are very, very hard to miss. But a couple days ago, I took a photographer out on site, and we got some views that you can only see if you walk Cars Land. So what we're looking at now, this is going to be our Route 66. This is our main street. It is the heart of Radiator Springs. And you can see off to the right, that is Ramon's House of Body Art, which will be a merchandise location for us. And off to the left, with the building with the tire finial, that is going to be Luigi's Casa della Tires. And at the end of the street there, you see the white steel frame building. That is the framing for the courthouse that will anchor the end of Route 66 for us. And you see off in the distance our mountain. Now this is, I think, gotta be the world's largest wingnut. This day that we were out taking photos happened to be the day that we topped off Flo's V8 Cafe with this wingnut on top of the rotunda. So you can see that from a couple views in the park now, that it was an exciting milestone for us. And I can tell you, I've never worked on a project before where I can say wingnut as often as I'm saying wingnut. So the whole place is just going to be great. What we're looking at now are Sally's Cozy Cones. The Cozy Cones will be location for snack foods. It's going to look a little bit like what just slid over to the right when it was finished. Think of it as a cornucopia of food. Sally loves her cones. And of course, this is the play field for Luigi's Flying Tires. Luigi's Flying Tires, I probably don't have to tell this group, is based on the old flying saucer attraction at Tomorrowland that closed in the mid-60s. You'll be able to get into your fettuccine brand tire. A gust of air will come up from beneath you. Luigi will tell Guido to turn on the air compressor, and you'll go off flying. I have a tiny little update. We walked the site today with John Lasseter. We turned on the fans. We stood on the floor, and we are getting ready to test this ride. We're going to do ride testing in a couple of weeks, so we are very excited about this one. And of course, we can't talk about Cars now without talking about our e-ticket, which is Radiator Springs Racers. It is really going to be fantastic. It's going to be an incredible experience. You get to meet all your favorite characters before you end up racing another vehicle in and among all that beautiful rockwork. And Tom, as you know, you tested it with us last summer. We had a test track up, and you know how much fun this is going to be.
I did test ride. In fact, John last year and I got to go take a ride together. It was phenomenal. We just kept saying, go again, go again. Now, speaking of John, by the way, I know you walked through the and he's been a guiding force throughout the development, really, of Cars Land. Now, John's known for many things. His amazing creativity, his passion for storytelling, and his unique fashion sense. John, are you here? John never makes a move without one of his trademark shirts. And if I'm not mistaken, that was an inspiration for you here in Cars Land too, right?
Yeah, John has a Hawaiian-style shirt for all occasions, including some of these that are based on Route 66. So believe it or not, we asked him to go into his closet and bring us his Hawaiian-style shirts that have these different prints on them, and we gave them to our costume designers who designed for our cast members. And so when Cars Land opens, you will see some cast members wearing custom Cars Land Hawaiian-style shirts just for this land, all because of John.
You may end up with some people trying to buy it before you're done. So really, one of the greatest things that we get to do at Parks and Resorts is to take these great sort of stories and characters and sort of dive in and expand on them in a really immersive way. I know you're doing that here, so can you talk a little bit about some of the new stuff that you're creating?
Yeah, we are. We got to work with the filmmakers from the very, very beginning, and by doing this, you get some really great backstory that we are being able to put into, from the world of cars, that we're putting into Cars Land that you'll only see here. The first one you'll come across is Stanley's Oasis, and that's based on these great sketches that Pixar did for the movie. It's something that they wanted to include in Cars, but they ran out of time for. So once we saw these sketches, we realized that we'd found the perfect design solution for the covered structures that we needed for our queue at Radiator Springs Racers. And these are actually coming out of the ground now. So we are creating the location where cars can get a fill-up of cool water from Stanley, and he is the town founder of Radiator Springs. So the story goes, Stanley was a traveling salesman, and he found that he could make some money by selling radiator caps to cars that had overheated. So what he did was he offered them sort of a free cool water fill-up from the original Radiator Spring, which we will be building. You will see the original spring. And then he made his living selling them radiator caps to replace them once they had blown. Of course, as he became more prosperous, he added more businesses, and that was the town of Radiator Springs. So it's really great that we get to get a little bit more into our personalities and characters. So the other backstory that is not seen in the films, but you get to see here, is a place called Tail Light Caverns. Now, we had gone to Pixar to talk to them about an ending to the attraction that we were calling Cars Bad Caverns. And John Lasseter, as usual, took that idea, ran with it, and made it a little bit better, and we're calling it Tail Light Caverns. And it's a space filled with stalactites and stalagmites. We call them stalaglites that would look like glowing red tail light formations that will look like Cadillac tail lights and classic cars. So it's going to be glowing and beautiful and just spectacular. So I can tell you, I just came from the site, and it is so exciting to watch this land come to life and change every day and getting a little bit closer to reality. Every time I walk it, we've got trees going in. The mountain is slowly revealing itself as we pull down scaffolding, and I cannot wait to show it to you all next summer when we officially open.
Awesome. So Kathy, thanks very much for being here and for all the amazing work you're doing. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you on the site. Have fun. So, you all know Disney Parks and Resorts began